Hey guys, welcome to another short series here. This is going to be a two-part series, and I'm going to try to make these relatively short here. So hopefully no longer than about 15 minutes. But let's jump right into this. We're talking about the universal laws of the universe. So I want to mention that the universal laws, they operate based on order, okay? And I do have my notes here. A lot of these notes are from certain material that I've researched over a number of different years and months and days. But I always keep up to date because I'm always wanting to inform you guys on what's actually going on here with the universal laws. So anyway, just remember that they all of them operate based on a higher degree of order. So there's definitely a higher spiritual order to the universe. There are natural laws governing this universe. So there is absolutely a higher order. So this is part one of the universal law series that we're doing. And in this video, I'm going to talk about 4 universal laws. Now these 4 stuck out to me. They've actually been the ones sort of on the forefront of my mind. Now, not just as of recently, but these are very much primary laws, and we see them every day. I mean, we see the effects of them every single day. So anyway, let's jump right into it. Number 1 is the law of cause and effect. Now, the law of cause and effect basically states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Newton taught us that. But that is an absolute law of the universe, one that we came into awareness of. Like all these laws, all of the natural laws of this universe, they were discovered. Discovered, which basically means to uncover that of. So these natural laws of the universe were actually sort of founded. They were discovered through the process of adventuring and the process of exploration into the cosmos and of the universe. And there were things telling previous philosophers that there has to be a higher order to the universe. There has to be a higher degree of order, and there absolutely is. So the law of cause and effect. So for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So whatever we give off, whether positive or negative, it could be on the positive or negative side, because you have to think about that. It could be on the positive or negative side, and it doesn't, like, the laws don't care. And I've said this in so many different previous videos, guys, that we attract what we feel on a regular basis. So the law of cause and effect, it goes for all things physical, and it also goes for all things that are yet to be expressed in the physical. So it also goes through a spiritual seed as well as physical seeds. But whatever seed that we plant, cause and effect, we reap what we sow. It's sort of the same thing, because oftentimes we won't see the results immediately. Like we talked about the string shot effect in previous videos as well. It's not always the case. Now, sometimes it is, but more often than not, you're not really sure when you're going to get that good back, because if you're putting good out consistently, you're guaranteed to see it. It's an absolute law. So basically, we receive what we continuously put out into the universe, put out into the world. You put out good, but that could also be in the form of a thought, because everything, whether spiritual or physical, whether in the spiritual realm or the physical realm here, everything we're always causing something, and other things are always at the effect of what we're causing. It could even be thoughts. So constantly there's always effects. So think about that. There's always a reaction. There's always some sort of response going on and happening on a deeper, greater level. There's a higher order happening. So moving on, the law of cause and effect. Okay, I take it back, not quite yet. I wasn't finished. So we release energy. I actually wrote down here. We release energy. Now, we've already talked about this, but this is going more scientific. We release energy in the form of thought energy, kinetic energy, thermal energy, the heat of our bodies, and as well as potential energy. It was Emerson that said, do the thing, and you'll get the energy to do the thing. So just understand that there are all sorts of types of energy: thought energy, kinetic energy, potential, thermal. There's all forms of energy, and we're taught that energy is neither created nor destroyed. Now, we're going to get into that here in a second. This will be one of the other laws that we talk about. But just understand that we're always causing something through our energy, because everything's energy. Everything vibrates, nothing rests. We're about to get into the law of vibration. But the law of cause and effect basically just states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So we want to be very mindful. What's the point behind all this? Mike, what's the point? Just be very aware. We're expanding our awareness. We're learning to harness this energy and the potential energy and the kinetic and the thermal energy that we're talking about here. The thought waves. Thought waves are penetrative in nature. Thought waves are actually penetrate time and space. And thought waves and thought energy is actually said to be the most potent form of energy that there is. It's the strongest form that there is. It's the fastest energy that there is. So, anyway, continuing on here, just remember law of cause and effect. We want to be very mindful of what we're putting out here, because whatever we're putting out, even in the form of a thought, conscious or unconscious, it could be a subconscious behavioral thought, but regardless, we're always causing something, and eventually it's going to return to us what we cause. So it doesn't have to be right away, but it could be in time. So be very, very mindful, very, very, very mindful of what we're putting out into the world on a daily basis, even our thoughts. That's why our habits, you must tune in to videos like this every day, whether it's watching me or Bob Proctor, Les Brown, Eric Thomas, Tony Robbins, Jake Ducey. It could be a number of different people, right? Infinite Waters, Teal Swan. It could be any, but you're tuning in, and you keep on tuning in to that information, because the more you give your attention to that information, the more you're actually receiving. Simultaneously, you're receiving what? You're receiving the knowledge, cause and effect, and it goes a lot deeper than what I just explained there. So number 2, the law of vibration. Law of vibration states that nothing rests. Everything's moving. Even this chair that I'm sitting in, everything's moving. And you're probably like, what was it? Yeah, I'm going to smoke a cigar, but after I do the notes, after I'm finished with the video. Because sometimes I'll do it while, and I'm like, you know what? I'm in a different vibration today. I'm just going to keep on doing this video until we're finished. But guys, even those trees, like everything's vibrating, nothing rests. I'm going to switch hands here because my hand's getting a little bit tired. But yeah, number two is simply a law of vibration. Everything vibrates, including our thoughts, because we talked about the different types of energy, right? Well, it's no different, guys. Our thoughts are a form of that energy that's constantly moving. It's constantly vibrating, and that's constantly whatever we're consistently giving our attention and focus to, that's the only thing that can grow. The only thing that has the ability to grow is that which we give our attention and focus and energy to. So just remember that the law of vibration states that everything's vibrating, nothing rests. I also wrote down here that we are attracted to like energy. Like energy attracts like energy. So the same energy that we radiate and put off, we talked about the law of cause and effect, the same energy that we radiate and put off, all of these laws are tied in together. You're going to find this. Everything's connected. Everything's connected. Nothing's separate. But, we whatever energy that we're radiating constantly and consistently, that's what we're taking on an equal amount of. It doesn't have to be right away, but typically we find that out in time. Knock and the door should be open. Seek and you shall find. Cause and effect. Law of vibration. Everything moves. Nothing rests. Even our thoughts, oh, Mike, well, I'm sleeping. Well, there's a lot going on in your subconscious, I promise you. Whenever you're asleep, everything vibrates, nothing rests. Even your body, right now, the cells, everything's moving. Everything's moving. Everything under this little shelter house, I mean, even that fan, that's moving. Even that fan, it appears still, but it's, I promise you, everything's moving. Even this chair, it's moving. Now, we can't see this with the physical eye, with our physical senses here. We can't physically see it. Now, if we had the technology to do that, we would. Now, under a microscope, if it was a powerful enough microscope, we could definitely, see that this material here is moving. And so are we. And everything in our mind. Everything's always... So guys, be very, very mindful of what you're putting your time and attention into and your energy into. That's really what it's about. Because that dictates what we attract, which is number 3. So number 3 is the law of attraction. Now this is a favorite one by many. But what exactly does this mean? Well, the law of attraction is actually the secondary law, the law of vibration. That's why we were talking about law of vibration before the law of attraction, because the law of vibration is actually the primary law, and that sets up an attractive force based upon how we're vibrating, the vibration we're in, the frequency we're tapped in, tuned on, turned into. That will dictate directly what we attract, or indirectly, because it could be coming from our subconscious habit of thinking as well. Because we are definitely thinking on a subconscious level. We have a billion thoughts on the subconscious level that we're not even aware of. So how do we fix those? Well, that's going to be a different video. But for now, just tune into these videos or some sort of self-help program every single day. Watch what you're giving your attention to, and you'll find more of what you're giving attention to. So the law of attraction, what we feel, we attract. Earl Nightingale pointed out, if we think about nothing, we become nothing. Now that's so powerful. Earl Nightingale, if we think about nothing, we become nothing. So if you're spending your time and energy and efforts, I forgot who said it, somebody else put it this way, that the idle mind is the devil's workshop. Now look that one up. That's a quote as well. The idle mind is the devil's workshop. So a mind that is idle, a mind that you're not planting any seeds in your mind. You're not purposely and intentionally placing your focus on what it is that you desire most. Love, more money, attention, whatever it is that you want. Happiness, health, wealth, your finances are off, your health of your body's off. You want to be putting all of your time, energy, and attention into feeling better. And that's really what it is. Because that's governed by the law of vibration. And the law of vibration, nothing rests, everything's moving. That then sets up an attractive force. Literally, you're magnetized to it. You're literally magnetized, and from the law of vibration. And then via the law of attraction, by way of the law of attraction, we attract. See? So based on the law of vibration, based upon what we are casting off, based on the energy in which we're projecting, casting off. That's what we're going to take on an equal amount of. We talked about law of cause and effect. They're all intertwined. Everything's connected. All these laws are connected. Law of attraction. Negative attracts negative. If you're always in a negative vibration, the only thing that you're guaranteed to attract more of is more negative. Circumstances, events, situations, outcomes, people, even people. Negative attracts negative. Positive also attracts positive. So conversely, positive attracts positive. So we have negative attracts negative, positive attracts positive. Because we hear these opposites attract and all this other stuff. Guys, really, the law of attraction, no. We attract what we are. We attract who we are. So the more regularly we are putting ourselves in that positive, healthy, uplifting, light-based frequency and vibration, we're going to attract things of a like nature. That's the law of attraction. But that's a secondary law. Remember that, because people want to just focus on law of attraction. Guys, no. The law of vibration is just as important, because they're one and the same. They're intertwined. So just remember that. If we think about nothing, we become nothing. Nightingale taught us that. Earl Nightingale. Now, think about what that means. Think about what that means. You have to be consistently and intentionally putting your efforts and energy towards a worthy purpose or goal. Have to. Must. Must. Because if you're not, by law, you are attracting nothing. You're becoming more of the same. You are becoming essentially more of the same. That's all. You're becoming more of the same. So if you are used to getting a certain result in your life, well, that's governed by your habits. Even the habit of thinking, the thought. Because those are intertwined as well, action and thought. Because you must have both in order for them to be manifest. So guys, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. Idle mind is the devil's workshop. We must be striving. We must have goals. We must write them down. Be intentional. Be deliberate. You must be deliberate. I was tripping over my words. You must be deliberate. Because if you're not moving anywhere. You're literally like a ship out here. You're literally like a ship out here on this river, just at a standstill. It's literally the same thing. It's still moving, but it's barely, it's just stationary. It's like this chair. This chair is not, until I move this chair, or until I leave this chair long enough for it to decay and change in energy in the form of different energy, it's not going to move. But eventually it will move. And that brings us to our next law of the universe. Now this one's awesome. This is number 4. And this is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Love this law. It states that all energy is forever moving in and out of form. Now, because just a minute ago you were thinking, what was all that about with the chair? Law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Everything's vibrating. All these laws are connected. Now, this law states that all energy is forever moving in and out of form. So you could take water, and water is always moving in and out of form. It just rained here a bit ago, but where did that rain come from? That rain came from the moisture in the ground, and it also came from the lakes, streams, rivers, ponds, and it evaporated, changed form. That changed into steam or vapor. Because water, I had a little bug on me here, because we learned that energy is neither created nor destroyed. We know this fact. That's a fact of the universe. And all these laws are the facts of the universe. These are universal laws. So if energy is neither created nor destroyed, then where does it go? It changes form, just like with us. We are forever changing in and out of form, but the energy that is us is never destroyed. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It just merely changes form, just like with the water. It's a solid, liquid, or gas state. Just like this chair. Like you could take a match to this chair and a flame to this chair, and it's going to change form. And that would be a chemical process, and the chemicals that are in this would go into the air, and they'd be a finer, different vibrational state, different frequency. So just remember this. And I also had this too. Now this is the last point here with the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, because we only talked about 4 laws, but I'm going to make a part 2 and talk about more laws. I had an example down for this law. If we're feeling bad being in the presence of negative energy and it builds up in our mind and body, if it's building up in our system and we're keeping it in here and we're feeling it anxious and tight, body feels tight, that's the energy that's stuck. That's what's happening. And we must learn that we can change that. We can do something about that stuck energy. We can actually we can actually change its form. We can transform that stuck energy into something. We can use it as fuel. You know how some people say, my pain was my fuel. You can use negatives just as positives, because everything's energy. You can use negatives or positives. Say you get a bad grade on a test. You fail on a test. You can use that failure to propel you. You can use that energy. It's never wasted. You can use that as motivation. That's more energy that you're always pulling from. Energy is not created nor destroyed. It's how we use it. Because are you going to let the energy just sit? A lot of people just let it sit. Use it up. Use it up. You have the mental capabilities. You have the capacity to use everything, even your anxieties, even your fears. People use fear as energy. That's motivation. Think about that. All you got to do is look back in the ancient times. What was it? Ancient Greece, where they used to let tigers loose, and they used to let lions and tigers and animals loose in order to chase a person. Now you better believe that fear caused them to run. And that was energy. But without the fear, think about that. Without the fear, that would be energy that would be unavailable, potentially unavailable. So it's what you do with it. It's what you do with that. So if we're feeling bad and we have all this stuck up energy in our mind and body and in our spirit, right? Then it's our responsibility. We have the ability to transform that energy, whether positive or negative. We can transform it and do with it what we please. We really can. And this is also called channeling. It's called channeling energy. But more importantly, it's transforming that energy. We can use the negative for positive. The energy is neither created nor destroyed. So guys, that was about it. Law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Energy is always moving in and out of form, and it's up to us. If it's a stuck energy and we feel anxiety, it's us to get it out, release it. We're always releasing energy. Nobody gets energy. Everybody releases energy. So I was actually about to stop the recording, but I really enjoy this series, and make sure that this is the end of this one. We only went through 4 of the laws: law of cause and effect, law of attraction, law of vibration, and the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Research these laws, do a little bit more research, and tune in to part 2 coming soon.